Dear participants, in continuation of the previous coverage on Moodle LMS, we are starting this session with some more modules on Moodle LMS, and we will be covering different modules dedicated to feedback system, real-time communication, reviews, and collaborative learning. Up to now, we have covered how to create course, by which way we can integrate different modules, chat-based feedback, and communicate. Now we will see modules which are specifically developed for feedback systems. These are available in default mode. No need to download any plugin. If additionally you want to link feedback and review system, that can be attached. Otherwise, integrated module we can link with it. So you can see feedback in add an activity or resource. And before installation, before linking any module, we can see its complete description by which way we can use it. So you can see this is the feedback, collecting feedback from participants, variety of questions, multiple choice, yes, no, text input, course where we can use, in which applications, course evaluations, improvement of contents for upcoming events. For example, some seminar, some STC we are conducting, some particular subject we are teaching currently, and we want to get feedback from our current participants so that upcoming events we can improve. Okay, for course evaluations and to enable participants to sign up for course modules, guest surveys, and these feedbacks are available for guest users also, not only for registered users, for guest users also. Okay, and different other integrations. If you want to explore its complete documentation, it is available on Moodle docs. Okay, description of each and every module, description of each and every block is given on Moodle docs. We can check by which way it will work, how to generate different types of reports, which are different options, feedback settings, building feedbacks. Okay, which type of questions. So before working with any block, we have to check its complete manual. If we want to integrate CAPTCHA, that can also be attached so that any bot, any spider cannot submit that feedback. Only registered users, only manually it can be submitted. Any particular person or any organization should not be able to submit feedback by some robotic software. Okay, so CAPTCHA, long answer type question, multiple choice, short answer type question, and description of each and everything is given. Okay, by which way we have to specify. Now we will see how to use it. What about dependency? Many times we in feedback we have to give dependencies. Dependency means, for example, second question is dependent on first. In first question we have given one query, okay, whether course content was up to the mark or not, yes or no. Okay, if no, then which are the perspectives or which coverage is left in that particular thing. What we can do, from that particular content we can give 4 to 5 points. Okay, which contents were not covered, which particular points were not covered properly. So dependencies we can specify. And such type of features are not available in other products. In Moodle, it is completely free. Dependent questions and feedback templates are also available. Different types of templates. Arbitrary independent questions or dependent questions. Feedback settings, how to put different parameters. After whether feedback can be revised or not, whether multiple submissions are allowed or not, whether students will be able to view analysis or not. Analysis means graph of that particular feedback. Okay. So we will see how to integrate it. Add an activity or resource. Feedback. So with every block, with every plugin, this link is given to explore that service as a manual. Okay, feedback, we are clicking here and you will see how to integrate it. Name of the feedback. So course feedback. Any title we can specify. Description. In description block, in this, what you see is what you get. Editor, we can specify description that participants can submit their feedback, okay, or whatever instruction you want to give. Availability. When this particular feedback block will be available, for example, feedback form we have created now, but tomorrow or at a particular day and date and time we want to enable it. Allow answers from this to this. Okay, because many times it becomes very challenging for course coordinators to create a feedback form instantly. So course coordinators or mentors, they can generate feedback form and its setting can be put at a particular date and time. Questions and submission settings. Allow multiple submissions or not. Record usernames, whether anonymous or username should be recorded. In anonymous, username or participant name will not be visible. It means it will be in blind mode, blind feedback. You might have seen many times it is required in current scenario, and many times it happens that participants may be hesitating in submit their in sending their actual feedback. Okay, participants may be repelling or they may not be interested to give their actual feedback if they know that their name will be visible. If we tell our participants that your name will not be visible, in that case they give their actual feedback. So to avoid hesitation from participants, we can use it. We can integrate anonymous feedback. Okay, otherwise user name will be logged. So currently I'm giving anonymous blind feedback. Allow multiple submissions, whether multiple submissions are allowed or not. So just for this session I'm enabling yes. Okay, otherwise you can put no. Notification of submissions, auto number of questions, so many other. After submission, show analysis page, whether graph should be generated or not. Completion message, thanks, feedback submitted. Link to next activity. Automatically your page will be forwarded to next activity. For example, after this feedback, we want to redirect our participants to a particular activity, to a specific event, or for example, after this feedback, we want that all participants should be redirected to a web conferencing link. In that web conferencing link, they will be allowed to give their video feedback. So we can give link to that next activity. Restrict access. This is also very important in learning management systems in real-time communication. If we want to restrict some participants, if we want to blacklist any participant or multiple participants depending upon their name, their attendance, because obviously feedback from those participants will be beneficial, will be effective, who have attended that particular event properly. If some participant is already having 10% attendance or 20% attendance, then what is use of that particular feedback? Okay, so we can restrict our participants, that only those participants will participate or will give feedback who have this particular grade or greater than 70% attendance or greater than 90% attendance. We can restrict user profile restriction set. So different conditions we can put. User profile, grading based. Grading must be greater than equal to 70. Grading must be greater than this particular parameter. Okay. So we can set all of these conditions, that only eligible participants should be able to submit their feedback. Only those feedbacks will be taken into consideration. So many other blocks, any other parameters we can put. Save and display. Now this course feedback is ready. Okay, up to now we have created a layout of course feedback with different settings. Within this feedback, we have to put different questions. We have to create a form. So this is a text-based feedback. If we are working on video feedback, then we have to link that module from Google, from that particular module portal. Okay, so from moodle.org/plugins, different modules available. We can download video video module or video feedback module. If we want to get feedback via text mode or form, then it will be sufficient. Okay. Edit questions. We want to put some questions, any number of questions we can specify, and once a feedback form is created, its template can be generated. We can save that question set in form of a template. What is need of template? For example, 10 questions we have framed. We want that these 10 questions will be same for all courses, for all STCs, for uh, all departments. So we can save that template so that all other departments, when they will create a new course in Moodle, when they will create feedback, they can import that template to enforce integrity and uniformity. Otherwise, each and every department will create their own feedback form. Each and every teacher will create their own feedback form. So to avoid inconsistency, we can use templates. Okay, so after creating different questions, we can specify, we can save as a template so that all departments, all teachers in this portal will be able to use same template to enforce uniformity and consistency. Add question. Whether we want to use a template or import question. Which question we want to add? So you can see, we can use CAPTCHA. If we want to restrict any bot, any software bot, so that only manually feedback can be submitted. Anybody should not be submit feedback by some particular software or API. Multiple choice question, rated numeric answers. Okay, any of these we can take randomly. So multiple choice rated. Very first question we are adding here. whether it is mandatory or not. Required, this is mandatory. Course contents covered as per the requirements. Okay. Multiple choice question. What about the alignment? What about the pattern? Whether it is vertical or horizontal? Hide the none selected. Okay, multiple choice. 0, not good. 1, good. Okay, so 2. So, as far as its documentation, in documentation it is given. Okay, one line for each. Its complete documentation is given by which way we have to specify. So you can see, because there may be confusion. Okay, how to write 0 slash not good, 1 slash good. So in documentation we can check. Okay, simply we will click here, help and documentation. We can see by which way it will be specified. So in Moodle docs, so this is written here in this way. So you can see in same way we are writing. Very good, P slash excellent. So this is the pattern. So no need to worry about where is the documentation, where is the book, because many times participants ask which book we have to follow for Moodle, which study material we have to follow for Moodle. There is no need to follow any study material, no need to follow any book, no need to purchase any book. Each and everything is available online in Moodle docs. Okay. Because what happens in case of free and open source software, versions gets updated very frequently. For example, you have purchased a book on Moodle. After that, Moodle version is updated. Some new blocks are there. In that case, what you will do? You will have to purchase new book. So rather than working in that traditional style, simply go to official documentation. In official documentation, it is clearly visible where to click, how to write options, and how to save it. Simply specify and save changes. This is the first question. First question we have added. So you can see in same way it is written 0 for not good, 1 for good. To another question. Short answer, short text, or numerical answer. So next question we are specifying here. This is also required. Which new courses you suggest for upcoming HTCs? Okay, that's for demonstration. I'm writing here. What about the text field width? In how many characters they will reply? 80. Okay, just demonstration. Okay, dependency. Is there any dependency or not? Whether this question is dependent on previous question or not? As we have covered just now, many times questions are dependent on previous question. For example, in previous question we have specified whether course contents are covered properly or not. If not, in that case, which topics are not covered? So 5 to 6 topics, 5 to 6 titles we can specify. These titles are not covered. Dependency. Okay, dependence value we can specify that. Okay, it is not dependent, then we can leave it as it is. And if you want to see its manual, you can check. Okay. So no need to worry about different options. Each and everything is available within Moodle docs, and on click of this question mark link you will be able to explore. Save changes. Two questions we have put in this feedback form for demonstration. One is course contents covered as per the requirements, and second is which new courses you want to suggest. Okay, so this third question I am deleting. This is empty. So two questions. One is short answer type question and one question MCQ. Now, if I want that all departments in institute should follow this pattern. So these are only two questions. For example, we have created 20, 30 or more number of questions, and we want that all departments, all subjects, all teachers should follow it. So we can save as a template, save as new template. We can give it. For example, template 1 or feedback template. In this case, what will happen whenever a new teacher will create a new course and they want to integrate feedback, they can import, they can directly import template, they can directly use that template rather than creating their own quiz. Okay, export questions, you can export questions. If questions are exported, then teachers can import other teachers. So there will be two options for other teachers. Either they can import questions if exported file is available. Otherwise, within Moodle itself, template can be saved and that template can be reused any number of times. Okay, now we will save it. Now it is created. Settings, we can put settings and analysis. Course feedback, different settings if you want to put. Analysis, up to now there is no submission because we need students, we need participants for submission. Okay, so submitted answers 0. There are two questions. Now, in previous session, I have created one account. From that user account, from that student account, I will submit this feedback for demonstration so that you will be able to see by which way it will work. Okay, this we can export it in Excel format also. Export to Excel, course feedback. If these questions we want to export, so you can see that up to now, this is the format. If any new teacher want to integrate it, they can import this Excel sheet or they can reuse that template. Now I will move to my Firefox browser to work as a student, as end user. So this is Firefox. In different web browser, I have logged in as a student. Now in this platform, in this dashboard, I am student. I will refresh my page to see which new block is activated by my teacher. Refresh. And you can see here, as soon as I have refreshed, this course feedback is activated. This course feedback is activated. And in front of it, mark as done. This link is also available. Currently, it is disabled. For student, this option is available with every block. Mark as done, it is to be clicked, it means that student has not submitted feedback till now. In chat based feedback also, you can see this option is available. Course feedback. Okay, so chat based feedback, I can click that it is done. So it is like a check mark, checklist. Student can see or participant can check how many activities are already performed. Course feedback, it is yet to be done. Now I will click on course feedback as a student. Now you can see this is the instruction. This instruction is put by teacher as we have done in Chrome browser as a teacher. Answer the questions. Now as a student, I am checking the feedback module. Now whichever questions are mandatory, these are linked with this line, with this particular symbol. These are required. Course contents covered as per the requirement, and you can see that its mode is also given, that this feedback is anonymous, so that participants should not feel hesitant. Okay, so participants can give their feedback without any hesitation. Mode is anonymous, so we can write here, right, directly whether it is not good or no, or good or very good or excellent, whatever it is. If mode is logged in users mode, in that case many times it happens that people may not give their actual feedback. Okay, for example, which new courses you suggest for upcoming STCs? For example, just for demonstration, blockchain, quantum computing. So as a student, as a participant, as an end user, I am giving my responses. Course contents, okay. Now submit your answers. Now I am giving my feedback on these two questions which are placed by my teacher. Submit your answers. Now you can see thanks, feedback submitted. This is same message which teacher has put in the blog, but will happen after that submission. Analysis, whether student will be able to see analysis or not. So you can see that student is also able to view analysis. We can disable it. It's up to you. If we think that our participants, our end users are quite mature, they are good enough, then we can enable this option that all participants will be able to view analysis part. If we think that our participants, our students are not matured, they are only students, then we can disable, or if we want to enforce privacy of feedback, because feedback is a private matter. It should not be disclosed, it should not be broadcasted to everybody that this is your feedback, this is the feedback of that person. Okay, but it is just for demonstration I have shown you, but in general, in most of the times it should be disabled. For this session I have enabled it just for the demonstration. For teacher it can be enabled, for course coordinator, for head of the department, for head of the institution, it can be enabled, but for general public, for general users, it should be disabled. Show chart data. Chart data, you can see in tabular format. If you want to view chart data, what about the responses? Now I will move to my teacher account. I will move to my mentor or head account, so that this feedback can be viewed. Currently I am in student account, and as a teacher I want to check, as an admin I want to see what is the visualization pattern. So this is my teacher account, admin account in Chrome browser. I have shifted my browser. I will refresh this page. Previously submitted answers 0. Now as soon as I have refreshed, you can see that it is updated to 1. Submitted answers 1. 2 questions and show chart data, and to teacher or admin it is showing that okay, these are the new courses which students, which participants are suggesting for upcoming STCs, blockchain, quantum computing, or whatever they have written. Export to Excel. If this data we want to export to in form of Excel sheet, if we want to take its print out, we want to keep it in our record. Export to Excel, and this result will be available here. You can see that not good one, this in this way. Responses. What are the responses? In tabular format, response number one. Now you can see that for admin also, in admin panel also, it is giving response number one. It is not giving username. So here my username is given, in my profile, my account name, first name, last name is given, but here it is completely anonymous. Response number one, response number two, so that admin also will not be able to view name of the participant. So completely anonymous, blind feedback. If multiple responses are there, for example 10 responses, it will be mentioned here in this format: response number one, response number two, response number three, rather than first name, last name, or account name. If we will not use anonymous, then we will not get actual feedback. Download table data. In which format we want to get this data? You can see that how much it is efficient. I want to use it in PDF format. I want to get all data in PDF format. Download table data as PDF. Download. So without downloading and linking any plugin, you can see that response number one, this, and which new courses they want to attach. In PDF format, we can directly take its printout. In JavaScript format, JavaScript object notation, JSON format, in HTML format. If we want to put it in web format, in web page format, so you can see this is HTML format, so that we can upload it somewhere. If we want to download data in CSV format, comma separated value, Excel sheet, in multiple, in open document, in Linux, in Mac, we want to open it. Backup. We want to put some permissions. So by this way, we will be able to use this feedback module. Okay. This. Preview questions. Before broadcasting that specific block, if you want to preview it, before submitting or before making this feedback module online for our participants, if we want that it should be, by which way it will be visible, what will be its look and feel. So this is the look and feel, the preview. And settings. Okay. Templates, whether we have saved in form of template or not. Is this clear to all participants up to this point, whatever we have covered? Is this clear to all of you? In chat only, kindly write save as new template. You can give here feedback template, and it is public in nature. Public, we can put it public or private. By default it will be private. So public means everybody will be able to use, all departments will be able to use it. Okay, templates. In templates, we can check that this is the template of feedback in our institute, and you will have to follow it. Okay, public templates, we can check it. This is public template. Use this template. So when when any new department, a teacher want to integrate, they will simply click here, use this template, and it will be done. Is this clear to all of you? Kindly write in chat. Up to this point, any query from participants? In this course feedback module, any query up to this point? Is it audible and visible to all of you? Kindly confirm.
Yes, Gaurav sir.
Okay, so now we are moving ahead with next module that we can use for feedback. So we are moving to our core subject, to our course, this NS2023, and we will see some other blocks which we can use for feedbacks. Add an activity or resource. Many times we have to get feedback, we have to get options or choices from our participants. In that case, either we can use feedback module that is already integrated here. In parallel to feedback, there is another block, there is another application available, that is choice. For quick responses from our participants, if we are communicating with our students and if we want to get some response, there is a single question or multiple questions we can also put, and depending upon that particular question we want to get their responses. In higher education, in professional studies, we have to link optional subjects, or we can use it for voting also. So we will see where we can integrate choice module. So choice, another segment. So survey is also there that we can use for feedback. Adding your choice. Okay, either you can take choice or there is another block with name survey. Okay, survey. In dynamic teaching and learning environment, we want to get feedback from our students. Pre-populated questions available. So you can see pre-populated with questions. Pre-populated means many questions are already set by different accreditation agencies, different organizations, different international organizations. They have already put standard questions, that these are the questions which must be asked from your students. So you can see that this type of plot will be generated. Teacher view. Pre-populated questions, which are those questions? So you can see that COLES and ATTLS questions, 5-point scale questions. Participants who are aware with some concepts related to education, there is a particular paradigm that is known as Bloom taxonomy and lots of others. And in that, we have to follow a specific paradigm. We have to follow a specific layered approach. Some specific questions are there. If you want to see, okay, which are those questions in COLES and ALTT and this ATTLS questions, these are international formats. So you can see attitude toward thinking and learning surveys. If we are teaching a particular subject, then as per the international standards, what about the responses of participants? So you can see critical incident survey. Okay. In this case, so what is difference in feedback module and survey module? In case of feedback module, that is fully customizable. We can give our own question, okay, whether this course is good or not, whether course contents are covered properly or not. We can give any type of question. We can give favorable questions. You might have seen in many times some favorable questions are given, or and along with favorable questions, favorable options are given. For example, you might have seen in many online surveys, in many online feedbacks, there is no option of 0 star. Even many times we have seen uh, rating start from 8 star, 8 star, 9 star, or 10 star. It means if I want to give 7 star or 6 star, there is no option. They say that first of all they will ask, okay, how many stars you will give? I will say I will give you 8 star. They will say that, okay, leave it, we don't need your stars. If you want to give 9 star or 10 star, then it is fine, or we will accept only 10 stars. Many times it is happening. Okay, I will not name any organization, but specifically in automobile industry it is happening. You might have seen it, you might have experienced. For example, you are servicing, you are going for service of your vehicle, then they will ask, okay, what will be the feedback? You will say, they will ask, okay, out of 10 stars, how many stars you will give? You will say that, okay, 6 stars. They will say that, oh, we will not accept stars less than 9. We will accept only 9 star or above, 9 or 10. It means there is no option for 8 or 0 star or 1 star. In different online surveys also, whether it is Flipkart, Amazon, or Udemy or Coursera, there is no option of 0 star. If somebody want to give minus star, then what will be the option? If somebody want to give negative feedback, we have to write. And if somebody is writing, then everybody know that nobody will read it. But in case of surveys, there is no option for customized questions and answers, fixed questions and fixed responses. It means favorable options can't be given. So we can use it. Add an activity survey. As per COLES and ATTLS, international accreditation feedback format, feedback survey type. In which format? COLES or ATTLS? 20 items, 20 items. There are 20 questions, 20 fixed questions in international format. Which are those questions? So these questions are related to attitude to thinking and learning. COLES means constructivist online learning environment survey. Okay, so in which format? So if we are delivering a session in online mode, then we can use it. If we are if we are taking feedback in online or offline mode, so ATTLS can be used in both ways. Okay, critical incident survey. In case of critical incident survey, respondents or participants have to submit their responses by typing. They will have to type their response. So save and display. So you can see that it will not ask any question. It will not ask to edit any question. These questions are predefined as per the international style, as per the international accreditation format, attitude towards thinking and learning. And you can see not answered and in particular scale, strongly disagree, disagree. So these are 20 questions. So as a respondent, as a student, I can submit my responses to these fixed questions. Now I will move to my account. If you want to customize, if you want that, okay, this format is fine, this international format is fine, and these are the responses: strongly disagree, strong, somewhat disagree, but few questions we want to edit. In that case, in Moodle database you can edit, but in that case it will not be ATTLS, it will be something else. That will be a point of research, that we have developed a new paradigm, improved ATTLS, or our own ATTLS, Indian version of ATTLS. Okay, so these are the questions. Now, as a student, I want to submit my feedback. So first of all, I will move to my dashboard. Now I have migrated I have shifted my browser to Firefox, and you can see in Firefox I am a student, I am an end user. As a student, as a participant, now I can check that some new blocks are activated by the teacher. So I can check that, okay, this course feedback is done, so mark has done. So in checklist I can click, okay, this task is done. Now what is this international accreditation format based feedback? So first of all, as a student, I will check which type of feedback is asked by my teacher. Click. So pre-populated questions in that format available. Okay, and you can see that these questions are on the basis of opinion. There are no right or wrong answers. These are on the basis of their opinion about their curriculum, about their subject, about their understanding. So just randomly I'm clicking somewhere. Okay, so as a student I'm just clicking on different options just to populate it. And teacher will be able to check. Okay, submit. So submitted. Now this submitted. Thanks for this survey. And as a student, as an end user, as a participant, I have submitted my responses. So I will click here, mark as done. So I will refresh my checklist that I have done all of these things, 3 activities. Now I will move to my teacher account. I will become teacher to see which responses are sent, which student has submitted the response report. So now I have migrated, I have shifted my web browser to Chrome to become teacher. Now here in Chrome browser I am teacher, and here I can see which students have submitted responses. So response report. response report, and you can see here this graph is generated. So till now only one student has submitted their response. So obviously, so this is the graph that is generated. If multiple students, if so many students will respond, then it will be visible according to those responses. Okay, so you can see that whether it is connected to this corrected learning or separate learning. Okay, so automatically it will be analyzed by the algorithm, and that particular data set will be processed and it will be plotted. Download results, we can download results in format. Okay, download in which format we want to download, in Excel format, in text format, or in ODS format. Okay, so you can see which survey ID, what is the survey name. Okay, this is the question. So different questions and their responses where we have clicked. This is the question, so I'm zooming it. Okay, this is the question, third, second option, fourth option. So we can check what is the fourth option, strongly disagree, or whatever it is. Okay, so you can see multiple blocks. First is chat based, we have done feedback, force feedback, text based, and web based form. Custom web based form we have generated with our own questions depending upon our subject, depending upon our coverage. Then international style based, accreditation agencies based, some education based surveys we can integrate using inbuilt survey module. Now we will link one more block, one more plugin for surveys, for feedback, which we can use for voting also. Okay, that can be used for voting also. Okay, these two blocks we have integrated for fetching feedback depending upon some options. Some options are given, one question, and different options are available. Strongly agree, somewhat agree, strongly disagree, or not good, excellent, or any other. Now we want to see for voting part, add an activity or resource. So up to now, which we have covered for this survey feedback. Choice. It can also be used for real-time data fetching, for communicating, for brainstorming also. Polling, quick polling to stimulate thinking about a topic, to test students' understanding, decision making, complete documentation of choice block that we can use for assessment, for learning. So you can see in teacher view. So for example, this is the question: how confident do you feel that you understand the module 2? Okay, this is the question, and these are four options. I understood it perfectly, not sure, or some other options. So teacher's view. This is the teacher view. So teacher will get responses in this format. Okay, how many students have not answered? So I am opening it in new tab so that we can view it in enlarged mode. Okay, or here also. So this is student view, one is student view, and this is teacher view. This is teacher view. Okay, so assessment for learning, students not answered. These students not answered. I understood this concept perfectly. These two. So two users, two students. So how many users are able to understand this particular concept? How many students are able to work on this particular project? So no, we can visualize, we can check different parameters in that documentation. Okay, now we will enable it. Add an activity or resource choice. So during this session or after this session, if we want to get feedback, for example, this is our title: project feedback on project understanding for on further implementations. We want that before students start their actual implementation, before students start their actual project work, we want to analyze, we want to get their feedback whether they have understood or not. Okay, give your feedback whether you have understood project requirements properly. Otherwise, what happens? Many times it happens students or some of the students do not understand the concept, do not understand that particular approach, and they start working, and in between they move to some different direction. Allow options to be updated or not, whether options can be updated or not. Yes, okay, we can put yes or no. More than one choices, yes or no. Limit number of responses, okay, yes or no, we can put. Option 1, very clear to somewhat extent. Not clear, need mentoring. Project not in my expertise. Interested to implement. Okay, to some extent here we can write. Okay, and availability results restrict access. So in same way we can put restriction so that only selected participants will be able to participate. We want to blacklist somebody depending upon their grade or attendance or anything else. When it will be available, we want to enable or disable timeline, save and display. So many other parameters we can put. So you can see feedback on project understanding or further implementations using choice block. So now currently there is no response because student has not submitted any response so far. You can see in teacher block, in teacher module, this is the panel. Okay, this table up to now 0. This is tabular format in teacher dashboard. No student has submitted their response so far. Now, in same way, as a student, I will submit my response. I will shift my browser to Firefox to become student, so that this question, this query, I can respond. And when I will respond to this particular query, I will again migrate to this browser to refresh, and we will see that particular result set here. So this is my Firefox. I am moving here to become student, and I will refresh my page. Either I will refresh or I will log in again. And after refreshing, you can see at bottom, this feedback module is activated. Feedback on project understanding on further implementations. In front of this mark as done, it means it is not done by me so far. Student has not attempted this block. So I will see which feedback my teacher want to get, my administrators, my head of the department want to get from me. Click. Now you can see this is same question which teacher has put. Give your feedback whether you have understood project requirements properly. Project understanding, for example, whether it is a major project or it is a minor project or it is summer training or anything else, industrial training, a project is allocated to number of students, and before their actual implementation, we want their comfort level, we want to get their understanding level, rather than forcing our student to work on particular project, rather than forcing them on a particular topic that you have to do on this, whether you have interest or not, whether you have aptitude or not, whether you are having technical expertise. Somebody is interested in data science, they are giving project on blockchain. Somebody is is having interest in cyber security, they are given project on robotics. So these things we should eliminate. In historical education system, in previous education system, these are major loopholes. Many times forcible implementations are done, forcibly projects are given, you have to work on this, you have to do this particular thing. But in international style, in international format, you might have seen, in whatever domain you are comfortable, they can work on that particular domain. If you are interested in cybersecurity, then do that particular work, but it should be workable, it should be significant. If somebody is interested in blockchain, then put your best efforts in blockchain, put your best efforts in quantum computing, in whatever application, in whatever segment you are interested and you are having aptitude. Okay, so you can see that. So as a student, I want to give my response just randomly. I'm giving this. Save my choice. As a student, I'm giving my choice just for demonstration. As and after submission, it is visible in student panel also that this is my recorded choice, and this option is enabled by the teacher to change the response. If I think that now this project description is clear to me, I want to remove my choice, I want to save my choice, so I can remove and I can click on very clear and interested to implement. Okay, so this option we can enable or disable in teacher panel. So in teacher panel, you can see in settings, this option is given. So allow choice to be updated? Yes. If it is yes, then in student panel, remove my choice will be activated. If in teacher panel it is no, then it will be disappeared. Okay, so save my choice. So as a student, I can see, okay, this is my choice. It is recorded. This is my selection. Not clear, need mentoring. I want to remove my choice. It can be removed. Now again, I can give, okay, very clear and interested to implement. Now new choice is recorded, that very clear and interested to implement. So as a student, I have marked my choice. I have marked my feedback. So first of all, I will click on mark as done in my checklist that this thing is done. And as a student, as end user, this block is complete. So whatever teacher has asked, these all are completed from my end, and I want to see by which way it will be visible in teacher panel, whether teacher data will be updated or not, in which format admin or mentor will be able to view all the responses. So I will move to my Chrome browser. So this is my Chrome browser, and here I am teacher. I will see responses. Okay, I will check whether somebody has submitted their responses or not. So you can see that it is updated. Previously it was 0 in all, there were zeros, but now very clear and interested to implement one. And who is this one? Who is this user? This is NAC user. So this user I have created, this is same user. You can see NU, and this same user is available here. So teacher can see, mentors can check that out of n number of participants, out of n number of students, how many students are able to work or willing to work on particular project or whatever query we have asked. So this query is related to project work. It may be related to some other thing. So download in Excel format, download in text format. I want to download these responses in Excel format, and you can see that how much it is easy and comfortable for teacher also to visualize responses of students or participants. So we can download it. You can see that this first name, last name, what is email ID, and this is choice. So one user submitted their choice, so placed in Excel sheet. If you want to download in text format, in text format also. So in multiple formats, we can generate report, we can use this data set. Okay, is this point clear to all of you? Kindly confirm, kindly write in chat. Is this clear to all participants? Multiple blocks we have covered for feedback. Whether these are clear or not, in chat, kindly confirm. Via survey, feedback, and choice. to this point, is it clear to all of you? Any query you can ask? Is it audible and visible to all participants?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we will discuss one deployment perspective of Moodle. Okay. Many times it is asked in sessions that you are having a particular website, for example, abc.edu.in or abc.ac.in, your educational institute. How to deploy Moodle on your domain? This is very important topic. How to install Moodle LMS on your domain. As far as implementation of feedback, survey, choice, these are concerned, these we have covered. Now we will see very important point by which way we can integrate on our own website. For example, you have a website with name, okay, any name, institute one dot ac.in. You want to install it, you want to install Moodle in your domain in free distribution. When we purchase any website, when we purchase any domain name and hosting, we are provided a cPanel. So this is cPanel. So this is a very important point that you should take care how to deploy a Moodle on your own server. This is very easy, and without any technical expertise you can perform it. With every website, with every URL, with every web hosting, you are provided a cPanel login. This is cPanel. I am showing you the demonstration on my domain. Okay, so this is username and password. I am logging in. cPanel login. You have to implement, and you can see that this is the cPanel of my website. So I'm showing you by which way we can deploy Moodle on your own website without downloading Moodle separately, without using Bitnami. So this is cPanel. This cPanel is available with every website, whether you are having .edu.in or .ac.in, .com, .org, whatever it is, whatever domain you have purchased. Either you will get cPanel or you will get WHM, Web Host Manager. As soon as you will log on to cPanel or Web Host Manager, you will get this type of dashboard. This dashboard you will get. In this dashboard, you can control your website. Your web administrators will be aware with it. Okay, so I'm quickly covering this part. In this, you will get different applications, app installers. In every web host manager, there is a specific segment, specific service that is known as app installer. So which service I want to install? So you can see in education, at top very first option is Moodle, Camilo, Claroline. Which LMS I want to install? OpenSIS. I want to install Moodle. So you can see that we will, if you want to install any other service, you can work on that. Simply click on Moodle. You can see here Moodle and install now. Instantly it will be installed. So I'm showing you on a live web domain. Install now. Where I want to install, on which website? So these are the websites, these are different websites which I'm having. For example, on this website I want to install Moodle, so automatically it will be available here with this domain slash Moodle or with LMS. Which version of Moodle I want to install? 4.2. So we are not downloading Moodle from moodle.org, from Bitnami. We are simply installing it on cloud, on our own domain. On which domain? Which we are having. For example, on this domain. or on this domain, LMS, okay, or web ERP. Quick install. Which username and password I want to give? This username and this password. And on click, email installation details too. On a single click, it will be installed. Instantly, you will get access to your Moodle LMS on your cloud. Okay. So in this way, for which organization, so its demos are also given. You otherwise, if you have already worked, then you can install directly. Okay, admin and example feature Moodle. So you can see this. Because so I'm covering this part because many times it is asked that we are already having a website. Within that website, we want to install it. We don't want to use Moodle separately. We don't want to use Genomio separately. In that case, you can directly go to cPanel and Softaculous app installer or web host manager. You can directly install it. As far as dedicated installation is concerned, in dedicated installation, Bitnami, so I am showing you that part also. Bitnami Xen. Xen control panel. Okay, so this for dedicated installation. So I have installed Moodle in my laptop also. Okay, so simply you can download this software. It is available on Bitnami. You can install XAMPP and Bitnami Moodle. So simply start and localhost/Moodle. So it's up to you whether you want to work on Genomio or localhost. So currently it is running. So you can see Apache service is running, MySQL service is running, and we will get a dedicated scenario without any advertisements, because in free cloud hosting we get some advertisements, but here it will be without any advertisement, without any distraction. So it is working on localhost. You can deploy on your own IP address, whatever IP address you are using. If you want to deploy on your own website, I have shown that in your web host manager or in your cPanel, you can work on that. So you can see this is localhost Moodle deployed and site home. Here, no restriction on number of modules. Any number of modules you can integrate. For example, so turn editing on in same way that we have done. And here, if you want to link, so you can see this 360-degree feedback, course feedback. In 360-degree feedback, which blocks we want to add. In course feedback, in this way. So you can see it is free from advertisements. On localhost, we are running it analysis. We can generate reports. So in this way, graphs will be generated. Show responses. from, so you can see, as we have covered earlier also, username will not be visible, response number 1 and up to response number n it will be visible. If we want to take backup of all blocks, for example, this 360-degree feedback, course feedback, multiple surveys, attendance block, or choice block, we want to take its backup. So in site administration, many times we have to migrate data from one system to another system, one Moodle server to another Moodle server. In one Moodle server, some data you have deployed, some courses you have created. You want to migrate data. So for that, we can export data from one Moodle server to another Moodle server. Reports, backups. Simply you can take backup from one platform, and that backup file we will be able to put in another Moodle server. Reports. Okay, so activity report, live logs, complete activity report you can download. Because in accreditation, in case of different record maintenance, we have to keep track of all of these activities. For which activity we want to take feedback, for which activity or block we want to generate its backup. Okay, so either from site administration, or if you want to take backup from a particular course, it can be done. Server. Okay. So complete documentation is available. I'm sharing this presentation, this study material to all of you. Whatever I have covered in this session via cloud link. If you have any query, if you have any point of discussion, you can ask.